Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Sorry there hasn't been a video recently. I got sick. First I had allergies. I have allergies year round, and then I got a cold, so I was just really miserable. But here I am today. I'm going to do a wrap up of the books that I've recently finished. Before we get started, can we just have a moment of appreciation for my shirt? It's a t-shirt that my friend Teresa got me, and it says Obama, and it has the number 44 on it. I don't know why I'm wearing a t-shirt, but I am, and I love this shirt, and it just makes me so happy. The first book that I finished was The Trouble with Goats and Sheep by Joanna Canning, and this is set in England in the summer of 1976, in the summer, and that apparently was the hottest summer ever recorded. It's about Mrs. Crazy. Mrs. Crazy goes missing, and then two girls, the two main characters, Grace and Tilly, they take it upon themselves to try to figure out why Mrs. Crazy disappeared and if they can maybe like bring her back. I thought this book was so much fun. It was so interesting, and I did read it when it was still slightly warm outside, so that was an added bonus. If you are going to read this book, I would say wait until either the spring or summer, depending on where you live. So the whole book is set in this slightly, I guess, small town. It's set on this street, on this avenue, and Grace and Tilly are trying to investigate what happened to Mrs. Crazy. And as you are reading along, you start to figure out that something happened about a decade ago, and that still affects the whole neighborhood. So there's two main themes, I guess. The disappearance of Miss Crazy and the thing that happened a decade ago. And those two things are essential. I really like books that are set in a small town and getting to know all the characters and their flaws and, the good with the bad. So I give this book a 4 stars. I really wish that there was some sort of like part 2, but we'll wait and see what happens, I guess. The second book that I finished is Zen and the Art of Murder by Elizabeth M. Cosson, and I picked this up at the library book sale that they were having in October. When I first picked this book up, I thought it would be kind of like a cozy mystery, even though it's set in LA. So basically this book is about Zen, and she is a PI. She used to be a journalist, and then she turned, into a PI. Things are not going so good for her. She just had a battle with lung cancer. Her lover left her. Her cat died. The IRS is after her. There's just a lot going on. So she goes to her local bar that her friend owns, and as they're sitting there, they go to this, I guess, cooler where the beer is kept, or the kegs or whatever, and then there's a body there. They are looking at the body and trying to figure out like how did this person like get in here, and how did they die. Come to find out, that's actually someone she knows from her past. Also, she gets hired by a Hollywood star to try to locate her father, who hasn't been part of her life. I gave this book 3 stars because it was just one of those books you read just to read. I don't think it was excellent. I don't think it was terrible either, but it just didn't really do anything for me. I found Zen to be very irritating at times because maybe I just wanted more from her. Since she had a background in journalism and now she's a PI, I just thought she would be better at maybe figuring out clues and putting like, pieces of the puzzle together. But most of the time she was just really perplexed by everything that was going on around her. also the secondary characters, the side characters that she interacts with, they just seemed so extra. They weren't believable at all. The third book that I finished is The Dinner by Herman Koch, and this is about a couple that goes to dinner, and the two men are related, they're brothers. So they go to this restaurant and they have a dinner together. And the interesting thing about this book is that it's not set as like traditional chapters. So you don't have like chapter 1, 2, 3, and so on. You go through like a course of a meal. So you have the appetizer, the main course, the dessert, and so on. As you're reading along, you are starting to realize that something happened with the couple's children. And they both have a son, so the cousins, something happened and it's really bad. So as you're reading along, you start to figure out what actually happened and the aftermath and all of that stuff. I gave this book 3 stars because I hated everybody in it. There was one person, one character that I disliked, but everybody else I just hated. The good thing that happened after I read the book is that I was telling my friend about it because my emotions were just all over the place. And we had a really good discussion about what you would do for the people you love. Like, when is enough, basically. I don't have children, so I don't know what it is to be a parent. I don't know what it is to be a mother. But I don't know if I could justify certain things just because, that's my child and I love them. I think morally and, I don't know, legally, spiritually, like, there's certain things and boundaries I couldn't cross. So the last book that I finished is Spiderweb by Agatha Christie, and this was turned into a novel by Charles Osborne. And Agatha Christie wrote this as a play, and Charles Osborne turned it into a novel. This is my first time ever reading anything that Agatha Christie wrote. I used to watch Miss Marple until for whatever reason, Netflix got rid of it. And I also used to watch Perot for a bit, but he just seemed really douchey to me, so I stopped watching him. This book is about Clarissa, the main character, and she is the kind of person who plays, like playful, innocent tricks on her friends. She kind of puts them in what-if situations. Clarissa's husband works for the Foreign Office, and he has an important politician that he is supposed to meet with, and he's going to bring him to the house. Well, she finds a dead body in her living room, and she's trying to get rid of the dead body. First, she's trying to get rid of it because, why wouldn't you? And also, she's trying to figure out, like, why is this dead body in her house? Then the police shows up, and she has to figure out a way to get rid of the dead body, to get rid of the police, so when her husband comes back with the important politician, everything goes smoothly. I believe I gave this book 3 stars. It was a fun book to read, but it really read like a play. I've never read a play before, but it did not read as a traditional novel. It was an easy book to read. It was something light and fun and just something not too hard, because after the dinner I was just very upset overall. I just felt like the world was a dark place and I just couldn't deal with it. So Spiderweb was a perfect way to kind of like calm me down almost. So yeah, those are the books that I've read recently. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye.